Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to take a look at Azure AI Speech and what are the different options available. And also I've built a very small Flask application, so we'll take a quick look at that as well. So there are many different things that you can do in AI Speech, but fundamentally there are three different options which are widely used. The first one being text to speech, and the second one is speech translate, and third one is speech recognition. So let's take a look at all these three at once, one after the other, sorry. And once we cover all these three, then I'll jump into the Flask application and I'll show you how it looks like. But before getting started with exploring these three options, I would recommend you to clone this repo and deploy the service on Azure portal and take the region and the key and put them in the environment variables. If you don't know what exactly did I just say, I've created a course on GenAI, which is called GenAI Crash Course. The playlist link will be in the description. In the very first video, I've explained in detail on what exactly are environment variables, how can you use them. So just cover that part and then you can come back to this one. But essentially, you have to create a file called .env, and inside of that file, you have to put your environment variables. So if I go into the README file, here I've mentioned in detail how it works. Not that. Yeah. Under the installation and setup, you can see the .env file, and it should have these two things: Azure Speech Key, Azure Speech Region. So once you set both of these things, then the code in this repository is going to work as expected. So first let's go into the text to speech part. So first thing that I'm doing is I'm importing from Azure Cognitive Services.speech. I'm importing speech SDK. So Cognitive Services used to be a standalone service in Azure where they had a lot of different cognitive, or I should say AI related services like speech, vision, language, those sort of things. Now they've all been moved into individual services, but the code, or at least I should say the SDK, is still using the name of Cognitive Services. Okay, now I'm loading the environment variables. I'm storing them in service region and speech key. Using these two, I'll create a speech config. I'll take that config, I'll pass it to my speech synthesizer along with the audio config. So in the audio config, I'll select this as my, sorry, uh, so in the audio config, I'll just say use default speaker, and in the speech config, I'm going to select this as my voice. So it is English US AVA multilingual neural, which is a very basic and standard one. Of course, there are so many different voice names, so you can check out the documentation where they've given a lengthy list of all the different voices that you can use. You can choose any one of them. Once you have these two things, the speech config and audio config created, you can create a synthesizer. Now I'm going to take this text variable, I'll give it as an input. So whenever I give out any input manually, when I type it, it is going to take that and put it in text. That text will be sent to my speech synthesizer. So whatever text I've given will be converted into audio. If it was able to successfully generate it, then it will go into the first block, synthesize audio completed. If that is the case, then it will show the, sorry, it will play the audio again. If the synthesis reason is cancelled, I'll get this error message, and if the cancellation reason is because of XYZ, then I'll print the error details as well. So this part is very basic. I'm just printing the error message, and if it is successful, I'm printing the text and the audio will automatically play in the background. So that is pretty much it about text to speech. So let's go ahead and try this out. Activate writer env. Right. Okay. Enter some text that you want to synthesize into speech. Hello. Oh, I cannot go back like this. Come on. How are doing? There you go. So it was able to convert that into speech and it gave out the audio. Again, there are different methods in which you can save that audio into a WAV file or an MP3 file. The codes are completely available in the documentation page. This piece of code is also borrowed from the documentation page, but I've added some comments here and there and I've made some changes so that it is easy to understand. So this is about text to speech. Now let's take a look at the speech recognition part, which is the other way around. So whatever I talk in the microphone will be converted into text. Quite a bit of similar things here. So I'm importing all of my environment variables. I'm creating my speech config. I'm creating my audio config here, and I'm setting the language as English US, and this is my speech recognizer. I'll put this in this object, and if the result is successful, then it will print me the text whatever it recognized. If nothing got recognized, it will go into this part and it will say no speech could be recognized. And if there is any error message, then I'll show the error message in this part. Let's run this one as well. F1B speech recognition. Hello, how is it going? There you go. So this is working fine. It was able to recognize it properly, and it was quite fast as well, if you have observed. So this is about speech recognition. It's pretty basic, to be honest, extremely basic. And finally we have speech translate. So the same thing again, I'm importing my environment variables. I'm creating a config for the speech, config for the audio. My translation language is French. I can change it into some other language as well. You can find the short form of what exactly I have to put here for the respective language in the documentation page. And for Spanish it is ES, by the way. Yeah, so this is going to read the audio and it will convert that into French, and if the result is successful, then I'll show the result here with the help of this if condition. And if nothing was recognized, if there was no speech at all, then it will go into this part, and if there is any error message, then it will print the error message using this part, same as last time. Let's test it. F1B speech translate. Hello, how's it going with you? Is everything all right? Here you can see hello, how is it going with you? Is everything all right? And bonjour, blah blah blah. I'm not able to read this, but yeah, it is in French. I can definitely say that part. So these are the three most important speech services or features available in the Azure AI Speech. Let's take a quick look at this app that I've built using all of these. I'm using Socket.io for streaming part. Let's run this one. It's a very simple application which will do live translation. App.py. Okay, it is up and running. Let me go into Safari. 127. Okay, real-time speech translator. Let's test it. Start listening. Hello there, how is it going? Is everything all right with you? Yes, everything is all right with me. Thank you so much for asking. Here you can see all of the previous conversations can be seen at the bottom. Again, this is a very simple UI. I did not add any too many animations or hover effects or those kind of things. Also, it's a very ugly UI, to be honest. The layout is not that good, but it is definitely functional. So if you want to show this as a demo, then this is more than enough for any recruiter. You can see everything has been translated from English to French. So whatever I speak at the exact moment is getting translated. Yeah, so the link for this GitHub repository will be in the description, along with the tutorial for GenAI crash course playlist. So please do watch the very first video to understand about environment variables, and you can come back to this video to learn more about Azure AI speech service, what are the different functionalities available. I've covered a lot of different things here, but one thing that I did not cover yet is speaker recognition. So let's say if you have multiple people talking at the same time, Azure AI speech has the capability to identify and categorize who exactly has said what. So that part I was not able to show in this demo, unfortunately, because I'm the only person recording all of this. But if possible, I'll try to create a small demo for that as well. But yes, that is also possible in AI Studio. Sorry, that is also possible in AI speech. So that's pretty much it for today's video. So if you have learned something new today, definitely uh, let me know in the comment section, and you can also subscribe to my channel for more updates on similar videos. Thank you so much for watching.